Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am Screen Scene Guru, and today I'll be discussing Superman 3 and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. I have been catching up on the Christopher Reeve's Superman films, so here's my comprehensive review for the last two films. I thought about doing a quick thumbnail for 4, but I might as well put it all in this one video real quick for you. So be sure to check this video out. Be sure to like it, comment, and subscribe. But going into this, I've got a bit of information pulled up on Superman 3 on IMDb. Interpreter Ross Webster teams up with a computer genius in order to release his own evil intentions. When Superman obstructs his plans, he decides to destroy him. So very interesting story here. We've got the director, Richard Lester, pretty iconic director back in the day. I really like this film, even though people kind of trash talk it on the internet. It is 2 hours and 5 minutes long. I do have the Blu-ray box set to show off real quick, which is pretty handy. Of the all original Supermans and original Batmans, diving on into. But yeah, I thought this was really awesome. The ultimate computer as the villain was really interesting. Going into this, let's see. So yeah, here's a little image of the third movie. I'm not sure how well you can pick that out, but him fighting against lightning. But very interesting stuff here. Show you off the disc. This was in 1983, Superman 3. So here's the third disc there. Pretty good stuff. We did get introduced to Lana Lang instead of Lois being a main character in the third Superman, which I thought was very interesting. Lana already had a family, divorced from her husband, of course, similar to how it is in the comics. It was very interesting that, Superman was cozying up to Lana. He even got her a job at the Daily Planet, working for Perry White. He got her back her engagement ring, which she had to pawn off. So he kind of inadvertently proposed to her, if you will. And when Lois came back, she was kind of shocked by this. So that's very interesting stuff. We also got to see in Superman 3, they tried to make a compound of kryptonite that ended up not being quite right. It made Superman act selfish and unlike himself. We got to see a bit of a mistress. So that's what you see in the thumbnail, seduce Kal-El. But of course, once he overcomes this, fighting his shadow self, which I really liked that fight scene too. He then regains his own consciousness. His baddie wants him to run away with him, but of course he's like, "Oh, I'm Superman. I don't remember what happened with us." So very interesting that they could have a Superman baby running around. Yeah, very interesting stuff. I like the comedic jokes about it. It was the 80s, so there was a lack of employment at the beginning of the film where this guy is trying to get work, and he gets to this company, and he ends up joining Webster and creating this ultimate computer which can analyze any threat and take it out, even Superman, which I thought that was really cool. But yeah, overall I liked it. I liked the story of it. And be sure to check it out. You guys can check this out on it says if you got a bundle deal with Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max, you can check it out on HBO Max. I, of course, have the physical media version of it, which I prefer to have physical media, just because it's a really cool niche technology, and you always get bonus features and behind-the-scenes commentary that you wouldn't normally get with streaming. So, going on from Superman 3, we've got Superman 4, The Quest for Peace. This came out in 1987, so a few years after the 83. This was the last Christopher Reeve's Superman. Show off the disc right here. The Quest for Peace. really interesting film. This one was about, sort of the Cold War, different kind of things they were going through, the worry of nuclear annihilation, and they made a big premise that Superman had to clean up the nuclear stockpile of the world to try to stop us from destroying ourselves. Very interesting that he got a crystal from his mother inside the ship. That was like the last remnants of Krypton. He talked to elders about interfering in humanity's deeds. So that was really fascinating as well. Lex Luthor returned, which I was very happy to see Gene Hackman come back for this final Christopher Reeve Superman. He wasn't in 3, so I kind of missed him. But he was a really good villain in Superman Quest for Peace. Let me pull up real quick the cast. Because Lois returned. Quest for Peace. Okay, let me pull that up. We also get to see new owners of the Daily Planet. The Daily Planet gets bought out by a subsidiary, so that was very interesting. And the poster too for this one looks great with him, taking off the top of a missile. So we've got the story. With the world on the brink of nuclear war, Superman takes it upon himself to destroy all nuclear weapons. However, Lex Luthor creates Nuclear Man, a force strong enough to take down Superman. So this was very interesting. We did see that the museum, the Superman Museum, which was a new feature honoring him, and they had one strand of hair holding up a large weight, and Lex Luthor and his, I believe, nephew broke into the museum and stole the hair, and that's where they began cloning. So very fascinating stuff with Nuclear Man and his nails, his talons, strong enough to pierce the skin of the Kryptonian, because of course he had Kal-El's DNA mixed with Lex Luthor's. So very fascinating that they had this story back in the day. This was directed by Sidney J. Furie. And let me see, going into the cast real quick. Of course, Christopher Reeve Superman, Gene Hackman as Lex Luthor. We got Margaret Kidder as Lois Lane again. We got John Cryer as Lenny. So Lenny was really interesting. The nephew of Lex Luthor. He, of course, comes from Pretty in Pink and other things. So yeah, John Cryer. Great to see him in there. We got Mark Pello as Nuclear Man, which I kind of suspected he was a wrestler of some kind. And then, of course, we got Meryl Hemingway as Lacey Warfield. She was the love interest in the movie, trying to get with Clark, kind of battling Lois to get with Clark, so that was kind of fascinating. But yeah, I just wanted to give a big shout out to the actors and actresses in this performance. We did get to see Superman speak at the UN, which was a pretty big deal. And of course, Nuclear Man's fight scenes were awesome. But yeah, that should do it for my comprehensive review for the Christopher Reeve Supermans. I have watched the latest James Gunn, James Cornsweet Superman again at home. And I thought it was fantastic, really great. Probably going to be going into the special features for that very soon, so be sure to stay tuned for that. Until next time, guys, this is me signing out. Have a good one. Alright, bye-bye.